So guys, we got about how many hours now? Less than it's 11:12. So we got it's 11:12 on February 5th, 2026, which means we got about 47 minutes until the fall off drops from J. Cole. And I said, you know what, man, one of my, my channel, as you guys know, is about mindset, mastery, and marriage. And I'm gonna, like I said, I keep saying delivering more content, but I thought, look, this is something that I want to talk about. A couple more of my passions is, just my love for J. Cole's music. I'm a huge Arsenal fan, football fan, and just so many other different things we could chat about. But what I wanted to do was just talk with you guys real quick about just, man, the journey of being a J. Cole fan, man, for me, and how it's been. Matter of fact, let me get my audio better for you. Yeah, now the audio is going to be much better, but I'm going to still keep that first part in there because it just shows the transparency of how this all came together. But I remember back in 2009, playing basketball in college, and one of my brothers now, he's the one that introduced me. He pulled me into the room. I remember he said, "Hey, yo, you heard about J. Cole?" Because he's right, he's from Fayetteville. It's from the Fayetteville area, the local area where I was at the time. And I was like, no, and I think he put me on Friday Night Lights, or was it the come up? And I knew I had to go back or the warm up. And I knew because obviously, the come up, and then there was the warm up, and then Friday Night Lights. And I knew, I started to listen to the song, and I remember because one of the biggest songs that hit me on Friday Night Lights was on the warm up. I think it was in the warm up, yeah. My brain right now is just, no, I think on Friday Night Lights is Sea World by J. Cole. So Sea World really hit me because the story of Shania Davis on there and hearing just how he rhymed through that and just the mindset. But as I'm sitting here just thinking about this right before the fall off drops, I'm thinking like, man, there's so much that's gone on in my life these last, if you think when I got down J. Cole onto J. Cole, it's been 17 years now. I've been a J. Cole fan since 2009, 17 years. And I'm thinking like, man, over these last 17 years, we've heard J. Cole drop. I've heard J. Cole's come up, the warm up, Friday Night Lights, Any Given Sunday, Truly Yours 1, 2, 3, Any Given Sunday 2. We've heard features. We've heard Dreamville Records. We've heard Might Delete Later. We've heard, what else we've heard? His first album, The Sideline Story. I remember being in college and me and my boys went to go check that out, grab the little towel that came with it, The Sideline Story. Then we've got Born Sinner. Then we've got 2014 Forest Hills Drive. And then, if I get this right, let me make sure I get this right. For Your Eyes Only. And then we've got KOD. And then after KOD, what album was after KOD? No, after KOD must have been what's it called? The Off Season, right? After KOD? The Off Season? My brain is totally fried. Matter of fact, I know I'm a J. Cole fan, but I don't know what's going on. My brain is not tracking. Yeah. After KOD. Yeah. Okay. That's all the info right there. Okay, yeah. So we've got warm up. Yeah, the warm up, the come up, Friday Night Lights, like I mentioned, Sideline Story. After Sideline Story, you got Born Sinner, 2014 Forest Hills Drive, For Your Eyes Only, KOD, The Off Season, and then here we are. 5 years after, well, we had Might Delete Later after that. I don't know if they could, say that's an album for sure. But here we are, man. Here we are, 2026, 2626 to represent Fayetteville. We're about to get the fall off. J. Cole reminded me, for me personally, of, there's an artist from London. So you guys know I'm born and raised in London. There's an artist from London called Kano. Who was part of a crew called Nasty Crew, Natural Artistic Sounds Touching You. Part of Nasty Crew, and for some reason, Kano just, I really resonate with Kano being from East London. Kano was from Bow. I think he's from Bow. No, Dizzy Rascal was from Bow. Kano, I believe, is from Bow too, but anyway. I was from E10. I think Kano was from E3. but that was Dizzy Rascal too. I'm not too sure. I'm trying to remember. But there was something about Kano that was just unique to me, man. Listening to Kano, hearing his music and what Kano was about, and you know, really, thankful that I had the time to listen to him. And just so you guys know, the front of this picture is going to be a picture I took with J. Cole back in 2016. I think I took this picture of me and J. Cole at one of the jobs. I worked in Fayetteville, right? Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm gonna tell you guys that story, but yeah, I'm gonna do that at the front cover for this. But J. Cole, what did I say before that? Oh yeah, so I was talking about Kano and just growing up listening to Kano being from the ends. And then J. Cole just gave me that vibe of someone that had that same mentality as kind of Kano, that grind and that get to it, and someone that was really putting the work in and came from nothing, had to work his way up, and was from Fayetteville, North Carolina, that I was very familiar with. I spent a lot of time in Fayetteville, North Carolina, for many reasons. So it was just a phenomenal situation just to hear J. Cole talk a bit more about what he had going on and who he was, and and for me, J. Cole, I'm trying to find out if this is what I think it is. Don't tell me it's what I think it is. Okay, it's not what I think it is. Yeah, so for me, just listening to J. Cole and his music, man, it's just brought so much emotion and deep thought, and just his rhyme schemes, his artistic ability. And, for many reasons, J. Cole was really close to the heart. And I remember working in Fayetteville one day. It was J. Cole's listening party at 2014 Forest Hills Drive. And J. Cole was doing a raffle for people that wanted to listen to his album in his house in 2014 Forest Hills Drive. And I was working down the street from there. And I told my wife, I was like, man, I wish we had a chance to go to his house. I wish I would have won the raffle. And I didn't win the raffle. And, instead of in a raffle, I went to work, and, I was working at AT&T. There was a long line, a whole bunch of customers. I forgot what, if it was December, it was in December. Maybe an iPhone just came out a few months before, back in 2016. Let me take a guess. The iPhone back then in 2016 would have probably been like the iPhone 7, maybe 7 Plus. It wasn't a 6 or 6 Plus, or was it a 6 or 6 Plus? We're not. I don't know. It might have been a 6 and 6 Plus. Yeah, it might have been a 6 and 6 Plus, and that came out months later because it was, it might have been the 6 and 6 Plus. So J. Cole, it might have been 6 6 Plus. So I was working inside the store, and then my boy just taps me and says, "Yo, Lowers, ain't that J. Cole?" And I'm like, oh, I see him right there, just on the, looking at some phones. And I'm like, yo, that is J. Cole. And then I had a customer in front of me that I had to finish helping. And the customer, we was talking and looking, the customer was like, "Who's that?" I said, "J. Cole." And it was like, it was in Fayetteville too. I said, "Who's that?" I said, "J. Cole." This is 10 years ago. Shoot. J. Cole. She's like, "Who's that?" I was like, "Do you know who Jay-Z is?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, well, that's his artist." She's like, "Oh, wow, that's a big deal." So once I finished with that customer, I skipped everyone on the line. I went straight to J. Cole and said, "Yo, big fan of yours and everything, can I get a picture and everything?" And he said, "Hey, yeah, cool, but just, if you could help me get the phone first." So then he asked me about the iPhone, if we had the iPhone. And I told him, yeah, we might have the, we didn't have the iPhone. But I was like, okay, I'm not about to tell J. Cole that I don't have the iPhone. I'm going to try and act like I'm finding it for him. So then, and then I went to the back and I FaceTimed my wife. I said, "Yo, Christina, J. Cole is here right now. Like right now, this moment, J. Cole is here." And she's like, "Nah, you're lying." I was like, "For sure, I'm gonna get a picture." Then I came back out and I said, "Hey, we don't have the phone." And then he stuck around for a second. He's like, "Oh, you want to get a picture?" I was like, "Yeah, cool." And I remember going to give the camera to his driver, and his driver was like, "Nah, he can't take a picture." I was like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know that." And then I had a coworker, and I said, "Hey," I remember Patty. I was like, "Hey," she had no clue who he was. And I was like, "Hey, can you do me a favor? Take this phone, just take this picture for me." She's almost like, "Oh, who's that? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about who this is. I'll tell you later." Then I gave her the phone. She took a picture for me. And that's the picture I'm going to have in the thumbnail. And I probably won't have it on here, but maybe I'll have it on the screen right here. So I'm just going to post this video. I'm not going to do too much editing on this video. But yeah, that was a good time, man. That was cool. And also, guys, and I should try and find this picture too. But in J. Cole's HBO special, I may not take the time to post this on the video. 'Cause I want to get this video out. I don't know if I have. I'm trying to figure out if I have the picture. But in J. Cole's special, in the HBO special, I think he was doing "Love Yours" or um, apparently or "Love Yours" when he says the rhyme to his mom. In it's Love Yours, whatever, but his mum's crying in the HBO special. And guys, I'm telling you, this is no gas. No gas. I'll tell you the story. Back in 2015, my wife bought us tickets for J. Cole's concert in Fayetteville. And she got us VIP tickets. And I remember we got into the J. Cole event, and right in front of us there was a whole row of free seats, and it was in the VIP section. There was no one in there. And I remember in that tour, you know, they had Big Sean, they had YG, had Jeremiah, had other artists. And when it was time for J. Cole's part, that's when this whole family came in, this white family and this one black dude. And then J. Cole's mom, K. Cole, sat right in front of me. And I'm gonna put a picture right here. This is me and K. Cole. I'll put a picture right here of me and K. Cole. She sat right in front of me. And I said, man, I'm such a big fan of your son. Took a picture with her. And then his uncle was over there. And it's funny enough, right? I spoke to his uncle, took a picture with him. I put a picture of his uncle right here too. I spoke to his uncle, and his uncle's like, yo, you never know, yo. He said Jay-Z's back there. He said Jay-Z's backstage. I'm like, in Fayetteville, North Carolina, Jay-Z's backstage? I'm like, oh, hell no. Jay-Z's not backstage in Fayetteville, North Carolina. That's crazy. And then I started telling the people behind me, they're like, Jay-Z ain't coming to Fayetteville. What are you talking about? I was like, no, he's back there. But then the uncle showed me a picture, and I saw Jay-Z back there. So I'm thinking, me and my wife, we're like, oh, shoot, he's about to bring out Jay-Z. Everyone's going to go crazy. But then guess what happens? During the show, he stops the show, and I've got the videos. I should upload them here. They've been years ago. This is over 10 years ago now. I still have the videos though. But then Drake surprises us and comes out, and we're like, oh shoot, Drake's here. And I remember, I think this at the time where he had the diss for Meek Mill, I believe 10 years ago now, it must be. I believe he had the diss for Meek Mill then, back to back, I believe, and he performed that too. But then I knew that Jay-Z was also out there. So when J. Cole said, hey, show's over, whatever, the lights went out, and then Jay-Z's music came on and he came out. It was a crazy time. So, but yeah, I want to tell you guys, in that HBO special, there's a part where you literally could see my jawline right here and below behind J. Cole's mom. And I promise you, what's funny is my wife is right behind her, but the way the video is shot, you can't see my wife, because if you saw my wife, then you could confirm it's me. But I promise you, it's me from down here below in the video, which is pretty cool in the HBO special. But anyway, man, J. Cole's a phenomenal rapper, my favorite rapping artist. It's sad that he's renounced. And my wife and I, you know, I went to 3 of the Dreamvilles. The last Dreamville, we got VIP tickets, and all the Dreamvilles I got VIP tickets, but this time I got MVP VIP. So I got a chance to even see J. Cole walk behind stage, which is pretty cool. I should post those pictures maybe in another video. I'm just trying to get this video out, man. I'm not trying to do too much with it. But yeah, so now we've got about 34 minutes until the Fall Off comes out. It's going to be a phenomenal deal. I'm excited, man. Excited. I'm going to actually take my time when I go in the next few minutes. I've got a few things I want to do, but when the Fall Off comes out, I'm going to go upstairs, sit on the couch, and just let it play all the way through. Both discs. Let it play all the way through. Maybe close my eyes and try and listen to what he's saying and the emotion he's spewing, the storytelling and everything. They really think it's going to be the best album he's ever made. It's going to be hard, because I think for the albums right now, I have them probably ranked. If I can look at the albums, let me see. My favorite J. Cole album will probably have to be it will probably have to be 2014 Forest Hills Drive. my second favorite, to be honest with you, man, I love For Your Eyes Only. I really love For Your Eyes Only. But let me say the second favorite would be Born Sinner, then For Your Eyes Only, and then next, so here's the order. So Foresters Drive, Born Sinner, For Your Eyes Only. And then next, what will be next? Maybe KOD? No, the off season will be next, then KOD, and then finally Sideline Story. As far as, because Sideline Story was good, but Sideline Story was mostly some songs and hits he put together, stuff off his mixtape like Lights Please and In the Morning, stuff that he had in his mixtape. He kind of just mixed it a little bit different and just threw it together on the album, songs that we already had heard and stuff. So that's why, you know, it was more of just a collaboration of some songs he had done, in my opinion. And also his Forest Hills Drive live album, I was there. So that's amazing to see, because that was done in Fayetteville. I was there. But yeah. Anyway, see you guys. Will be a great one. Hopefully I add these pictures here. I'm gonna do that real quick actually. Let me quickly grab these pictures and add them here so you guys see. And if you guys don't see the pictures here, like I mentioned, I might just add them at the end of the video so you guys can see them. So but yeah. You will see me and K. Cole, J. Cole's mom, me and J. Cole's uncle, and a picture of me and J. Cole when I used to work at AT&T, so, which is also going to be the thumbnail. Anyway, and you know, I might make all those pictures the thumbnail. But anyway, guys, happy 2626. J. Cole, thanks for all the memories, all the albums, all the music. And we know that you're going to drop some collaborations or something one day. But if this is the last album, man, I'm looking through and just looking at the journey of the albums. When I look at each album, I remember where I was at when I listened to it, just being in college and listening to Friday Night Lights. You know, if I look at it, let's go through it. Friday Night Lights, the warm up, come up, I all listen to them together, right? But then if we look at the Sideline Story, I remember being in college, gonna go get a Sideline Story. 2013, I remember me and my wife being in Texas. We was on the road when that came out, driving through Texas, and I remember listening to Voluminati, that thing getting off with Voluminati. And then 2014, Forest Hills Drive, I remember coming back from work, grabbing the speakers, putting them up in front, connecting the two speakers I had and just playing it. Me and my wife, my Braven speakers, me and my wife just playing it. That was a phenomenal experience. If I look at For Your Eyes Only, I remember where we were living that time of my life. You know, where things were and just the vibe of that. There was something about For Your Eyes Only that's just phenomenal, man. KOD, yeah, memories of KOD, you know, different changes in my life at that time. The off season, I remember, yeah, this is just post-COVID. I remember the times and feelings from the off season. And then obviously you got My Delete Later that's come out after that and everything. But now we got The Fall Off. I'm gonna remember where I was at on the couch laying down listening to The Fall Off. What an experience. So guys, make sure you like and subscribe too. I've posted some videos too if you guys from when I went to Dreamville. As you guys know, my page about mindset mastery and marriage here with Laras, but I'm definitely going to talk more about, you know, other things that I like, and these will be random videos on here. So if you listen all the way through, I appreciate it. If you guys have anything to chat about, your favorite J. Cole memories or what you love about J. Cole, man, please feel free to drop it here. This may not be the most elaborate and craziest videos you had and all this, you know, all the extra stuff about the video, but hey, we had a chance to chat, and I'm just making a regular video, man. I don't give a damn. I'm going to post it like this. So, anyway, guys, take care. And remember, be safe. Happy 2626.